Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode with iTrek. Shout out to all the iTrek fam in the building, man. Everybody in the chat. I appreciate each and every one of you, man. Huge shout out to all the members. Per usual, I have a handful of interesting and creepy videos that I found all over the internet. So let's go ahead and evaluate for ourselves whether this is fact or fake. You know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe button, man. Let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Italians have been left confused after a glowing ring of lights was captured above a small town, with locals wondering if it's a sign from aliens or something more sinister. The UFO-like ring was spotted at the foot of the Italian Alps, giving off a red glow against the night sky. It only lasted for 1,000th of a second, but was captured by a local photographer, sparking speculation online. Some suggested the eerie lights could be a sign of aliens, while others wondered if it was the result of rockets or some sort of drone. Scientists say there is no reason to panic and that it was an ELF, a sudden burst of light in the Earth's upper atmosphere caused by powerful lightning strikes. They are an extremely rare phenomenon, but it's now happened twice over this particular town, leaving locals wondering if there's something in the air.
Hey, you already know iTrek, we all the way international. So all the iTrek fam in Italy, definitely drop the real details because those lights in the sky are definitely not new. We've been seeing them all over the world. So what's going on over there in Italy?
There's a town in America so haunted, it's actually illegal to visit. Dudleytown, Connecticut isn't your typical ghost town. It was actually never really a town at all. Just a small 18th century settlement in the middle of the ominously named Dark Entry Forest. And let's just say, things went very wrong there. Legend has it that the Dudley family who settled there brought a curse with them from England. One that led to madness, mysterious deaths, and just all around bad vibes. It all started when Edmund Dudley, a British nobleman, that's this messy queen over here, hatched a plot to overthrow King Henry VIII. You can probably guess how well that turned out. He was beheaded for treason. And legend has it that a curse was placed on all Dudley descendants. A curse that then followed them to Connecticut and haunted Dudleytown. We're talking plagues, lightning strikes, people losing their minds, and of course shadowy creatures lurking in the woods at night. The place was eventually abandoned, and today it's completely off limits. Police will arrest you if you try to go there. But is it really haunted? Or is it just because bread made from moldy rye caused people to hallucinate, as one theory says? Well, of course it depends on who you ask. Some people think the Dudleys are being punished for prosecuting witchcraft, while others of course say it's fake, and still others say that there's a cover-up going on in Dudleytown. But there is one huge hole in the story. A Dudley family genealogist says that the Dudleys who settled in Connecticut—
Tell me I'm not seeing things. Oh my God.
Stop the cap. Go ahead and stop the cap, man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
So why do you think the world's gonna be over soon?
Well, as Bill Gates said, we need 3 billion less people. And they really don't give a how we get 3 billion. If we have 3 billion less people, we don't have all these crises that we have right now.
That's where I go back to just enjoy your day, because you can't do shit about it. When there's global elite that have billions and billions and billions that they can buy off governors and judges and presidents, like there's people in control of this world, and I'm not in it. And again, unless you know those people and you're one of those.
And I do.
Well, then you might be in it. But I've never been to a meeting where they're like, all right, we're going to off a third of the population so we have an air in 100 years.
They don't talk like that. They everything's theoretical. And they put up their PowerPoint presentation and some little skinny, or 2 or 3 little skinny from Stanford, Caltech, and MIT, and Oxford. This is what could happen if this happened and this happened. And somebody in the back of the room will raise their hand, and what are the probabilities of all these things happening at once? Not self-induced. In other words, not caused. They say 0%. And what it's helped along a little. They put it nicer than that. Oh, we can make it happen 1 out of 3 times. Everybody kind of chuckles and. But I'd rather be part of that group. That's why I call everybody a meathead.
I kind of like that guy because you can tell by his body language, his whole posture, he's just saying what it is. And the older you get, the less you really even care, right? You're just going to say your truth, and they're definitely not saying something that we don't already know.
The best thing to do is just stay quiet. Do you know why you never hear CIA defend itself?
No, I never thought
Because they already know you're going to forget. Once you defend yourself, you bring credibility to the accusation. So the best thing to do is not even defend yourself, right? One of the things that I think the best influencers online do, and that I try to emulate, is people attack the best influencers all the time. They attack them with all sorts of things. And the best influencers don't respond. They don't react. Because they know that two things. By not reacting, they're not validating the claim. And two, there will always be people who want to attack. So professionally trained, you let them attack and you ignore their attacks, and you recognize that them attacking a wall is going to either bore them over time, or it's going to turn into more people who are attacking, and more people who are attacking is just more engagement. The algorithm likes it more. People like the attention, whatever else.
Hey, he gave $1 million worth of game right there. In short, all he's basically saying is let a hater hate.
Facts. This is facts. I do my research. This is facts.
Let him hate. You know what I'm saying? And you be great. That's it.
When something isn't meant for you, the universe will keep showing you that it's not meant for you until you let it go.
Tabernacle.
The Weeknd tells a story of an artist selling their soul in the music industry in these 3 music videos. It starts off with him performing at a club and everyone just looks unamused and no one likes his music. Until this mysterious man sits down, and I think this is representative of the devil, and you'll understand why in a second. This man throws his lighter at the Weeknd on stage, he bursts into flames, and now everyone loves his music. Now in the next music video, he's seen burying his old self. But once he's done, the mysterious man comes back and finds him. The Weeknd then shoots him in the music video to try and get rid of him. He dramatically falls down and passes away, and then the Weeknd gets into a car, remember this car, and drives away. Now the last music video, The Hills. The Weeknd slowly comes out of a crashing car, the same exact car. Once he gets out, he goes inside of his room, and it is filled with this dark demonic energy with the same guy there and 2 girls, and the Weeknd has the most empty look on his face. I believe that this is symbolic. When you sell your soul, your music career will take off, but once you make that deal, you cannot go back.
The wild part about that is, maybe like 2 videos ago, a guy explained about his after-death experience. And he said he went to hell and he seen Michael Jackson on stage and demons were lighting him on fire and throwing fire at his feet. So to see the Weeknd on stage, on fire, very interesting.
I'd love to see flat earthers try to explain this one. This is a picture of the sun at the same time every day. If the earth is really flat, then how do you explain that curve that it's making?
In 93, it was called Project Starlight. It was a code word name that Spook, Intel guy, made up for us prior to briefing the director of the CIA. And it's now become the Global Disclosure Project. But the problem with it is that the subject is actually very, very complex.
Yeah.
And to unpack it, which I hope we can do in the next couple hours, it takes a little bit of patience. But what I've tried to do is put the information out that provides the evidence to back up the assessments, right? So an intelligence assessment, as you know, is more difficult than just gathering data. So my primary job has been, all the way back to when I was a young doctor, briefing the CIA director, is not only to put the evidence together, but try to create some sound out of that noise, all that information. What does it mean? Why are they here? How is this being managed? What's the architecture of this extreme deep state, deep national security state? And what is the agenda of that? I mean, these are the big issues. The data and the evidence is now on the internet for anyone on your show to see. It's for free.
Did you know you have fingers inside your eyes? Right on this part over here. With good lighting and a lot of zoom, you can get really close and see what look like fingers coming out of your iris. This is known as the pupillary border.
Now I ain't gonna lie to you, that's a little creepy, even for me.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
That's beyond creepy.
I hate to be the one to tell you, but your body is a direct reflection of your standards. Not your genetics, not your luck, not your excuses, your standards. Your body is exposing the level of discipline you live by when no one's watching. Your physical state directly shows what you tolerate because the brain treats your habits as identity. If your standards are low, your brain stops fighting for better and starts accepting whatever's easiest. Your body is a receipt that shows whether you chose convenience or consistency. It shows whether you break promises to yourself or whether you keep them. It shows whether you push through discomfort or fold the moment things get hard. Your mind and body are connected. When your standards rise, your decisions change, your energy changes, and your discipline sharpens. Your body will always follow your mind, not the other way around. You don't need a perfect routine, you need higher standards, because the second you demand more from yourself, your body will start transforming to match it. Your appearance isn't about vanity, it's about alignment. You can't claim excellence while living in a body built on low standards. Raise the standard, raise the discipline, and raise the version of you that the world wants to see. A healthy mind is a healthy life. Now follow me for more content.
Something really strange is happening in Chernobyl right now, but nobody can explain it. Back in 1986, the Chernobyl nuclear plant exploded, releasing more radiation than 400 Hiroshima bombs and forcing over 300,000 people to flee. The ground is still so toxic that humans can only stay there for a few minutes at a time. But recently, when scientists were exploring the remains, they noticed something strange on the reactor walls. A black, soot-like fungus slowly spreading towards the most radioactive spots. At first, they thought it was a miracle that anything could survive that level of radiation. But the wildest part was that when they tested this fungus, it wasn't just surviving the radiation, it was feeding on it. So scientists are now seriously considering using this fungus to line spacecraft walls to protect astronauts from cosmic radiation.
So everything from this point on is allegedly. It's just my opinion, rumors and speculation of social media. So a powerful cosmic ray hits planet Earth and scientists can't discover where it came from. What it basically is a streaming of consciousness that is streaming down from the mental plane, which is also known as the magnetosphere. And it's not a coincidence in the movie X-Men, the character's name was Magneto. So when you see the term mag, it is an abbreviation for the word magnetism. Magnetism is equated to your magic is your magnetism, which is basically your spiritual gifts. Because God is the mind, not the body. Although the body is a temple of the Most High and it houses the Holy Spirit, God is the mind by way of mind science technology. There's a diametrical difference between the brain and the mind. They're two different entities. So the mind in itself is the electrical force field that surrounds the brain and has the ability to bring in the Christ consciousness. And the brain in itself is the physical construct that keeps you connected to the holographic matrix, keeps you stuck in a simulation when you're talking about the holonomic brain theory. So the Christ consciousness is activated by a way of mind science technology, by these cosmic rays that's streaming down from the magnetosphere, the mental plane. And a lot of people like the NPCs are going to get left behind because they have a third dimensional stronghold. So as you have this ultra high energy cosmic ray that is hitting the planet, what it's doing is it's upgrading people's DNA and energy, right? It's here to upgrade DNA. So you have the indigenous DNA, the NPC DNA, and you have the Canaanite DNA. Now, when you're talking about the NPCs, they allegedly have an artificial consciousness. They are connected to the artificial electrical grid. Meanwhile, the chosen ones are connected to the conscious energy grid, the magnetosphere, the mental plane, the Most High. That is the diametrical difference between the two.
Is it true that if we have less friends, if we have less strong relationships, if we're lonely, then our brain will shrink?
Yes, we are social creatures. And there are really powerful studies that have shown the correlation between the number of social connections that we have, including just saying hello to the barista at Starbucks. It's not a close friendship that you develop over 30 years. It's just how many people you interact with and greet. And longevity. The more people you are regularly interacting with, the longer you are living. Overall longevity. But if you go into brain health, absolutely, it's also very, very healthy for you. It also brings happiness.
Now, I'm fully aware that you have to give yourself purpose if you're not able to find it. And that's what keeps you going. And as soon as you don't feel like you have purpose anymore, that's when you're finished. So I guess by default, people have to be a part of that purpose some way, somehow. That makes sense of what she's saying, but at the same time, the more you're inside, the more you introvert, the more your brain's shrinking. I don't like that.
We just got a couple of brand new 3i Atlas images, definitely worth seeing, and something very rare and strange is happening. So let's talk through all this. Let's begin with the first image. It was taken on November 25th, and even though 3i Atlas is still incredibly far, around 295 million kilometers, telescopes are still picking it up quite well. And what's crazy is the scale of this thing. So using a plate scale measurement with pixels, when you convert that to a real distance at its current range, It seems to be showing roughly 6.5 million kilometers of tail. 6.5 million. Okay, and the second image comes from astrophotographer Diego San Arrojo, also from November 25th from Brazil. And it shows something a little bit different. A bright circular core with a clean, smooth halo around it. This is a very stable, very symmetrical look, almost no visible jet structure in this specific frame, which makes it a nice snapshot of the nucleus and the inner coma. And here's the part you're not really hearing about. Earth is actually surrounded right now by two comets, 3I Atlas and Comet R2 Swan. Both are currently passing through our region of space. Both have visible tails. And this is the odd part. Both have inward, sunward facing tails due to the geometry and how the sunlight's hitting it. Two different comets, two sunward tails, surrounding Earth at the exact same time. I mean, this is rare. So I'll keep updating as more images drop, especially as we get closer to December 19th when it makes its closest approach. But let me ask you this. If you had to describe 3I Atlas in one word, what's that word? Let me know below.
It's either one of two things. It's either an asteroid or a UAP. Period.
Let me know below.
Simple security flaw exposed the phone number of nearly every WhatsApp user on Earth. That's 3.5 billion people, including you. As reported by Wired, researchers from the University of Vienna found they could just ask WhatsApp if a number existed, and WhatsApp would answer. There were no limits. They scraped 100 million numbers an hour. In just 30 minutes, they grabbed 30 million US phone numbers. And they didn't just get numbers. They scraped 2 billion profile photos and 1 billion user bios. This means anyone could have built a massive searchable database linking your face to your private phone number. Meta was warned about this exact flaw in 2017. They ignored it for 8 years.
Sorry.
United States is one of the most diverse countries in the world, stretching across 6 time zones and containing almost every type of climate and landscape. It has the world's largest economy and is home to more than 350 languages reflecting its cultural variety. The U.S. also created many major inventions, including airplanes and the internet, with over 60 national parks, huge cities, and vast open wilderness. The country is a mix of nature, technology, and history, all in one place.
Pyramids were built with sound.
Did you know Kobe Bryant collected bones to keep his body at its best? It sounds insane, but he swore by it. Here's what he did and why you might want to start doing it too. Kobe was known for his intense training, 4 a.m. workouts, taking 1,000 shots per day, and unmatched consistency. But probably most shocking was his bone collection. See, bones are packed with collagen, amino acids, and minerals like magnesium and calcium. When you simmer them for hours, those nutrients transfer into the water. It's what you know as bone broth, a high-protein drink that strengthens and repairs your bones, joints, and connective tissue. Kobe and his chef made it daily, and he drank it post-workout to boost recovery. But you don't need to make it yourself to benefit. There are great brands out there.
Hey, that's why Kobe was the GOAT. The same beast, but a different animal.
The chemical in this container causes injuries so terrifying that many nations on Earth have agreed it is too cruel to even use in war. It is white phosphorus. As soon as I take it out of the container, it starts reacting with the oxygen in the air, producing a white smoke of phosphorus pentoxide, which is then converted to phosphoric acid. After a while of contact with air, it ignites spontaneously. While the fire can be smothered, the phosphorus reignites as soon as it comes into contact with oxygen again. This, combined with the fact that it is more toxic than potassium cyanide, makes injuries caused by white phosphorus so difficult to treat. But it also has a beautiful property. When I turn off the light, you can see that it emits a white to greenish glow. In a process called chemoluminescence, a part of the energy released during its reaction with oxygen is emitted as visible light.
Did you guys hear about the underwater volcano?
No.
This is terrifying. It's off the west coast of America. This volcano is 1 mile wide, and it is due to explode any day now.
Really?
They said it's definitely going to blow. And they said when it blows, it could cause 10,000 earthquakes.
Is this 100% legit?
Yes. But everyone's like, don't worry about it. Like, it's
Yeah.
underwater. It's so far underwater. Like, but it's like 10,000 earthquakes in a day.
I don't know a lot about earthquakes, but that
Yeah.
seems like a lot.
And it's a mile-long volcano.
That's crazy, man.
Like, don't worry.
How far off the California coast is it?
I don't know.
I completely track with that. Is it Yellowstone?
Yeah,
that we-
Yellowstone super volcano.
And you go there and they're like, yeah, one day might blow up. But anyway,
I mean-
gift shop's on the way out. And you're like, how do you live with this? No,
But
it's
this
probably
one-
not going to happen.
They're literally observing. It's like bubbling up. Like it's gonna boom.
And they said in the summertime?
They think early June.
Soon, though.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, that's crazy. Do you see that surveillance video of literal fault line shifting?
Yeah.
And I'm like, imagine if that happened in Yellowstone, where it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Things are gone.
Yeah.
Now, when you ride with God, you're not really worried about any kind of natural disaster. Literally, anything that's out of my control, I don't even worry about it. You know, that's it.
Someone throws away an egg on a nuclear submarine, it can reveal the submarine's location to enemy forces. You see, submarines carry hundreds of eggs to feed crew members during patrols. When the eggs spoil, they get tossed in the trash and sent to the compactor because space is extremely limited. But here's the problem. When an uncracked egg goes through the trash compactor, the extreme pressure causes it to suddenly implode. That implosion creates a sharp pop, loud enough to be picked up on sonar. Just one egg might be fine, but a series of egg implosions creates a noise signature that stands out from normal ocean sounds. That's why crews are trained to crack every egg before throwing them away.
I think they're waiting for AI. That's what I think.
Really?
I think that's the whole reason why they haven't contacted us. The whole reason why there's no like very obvious signal to the entire population of Earth that this is a real phenomenon. I think they're waiting for AI because I don't think we're gonna get less violent. I think that fucking ship has sailed. There's slap fights now on TV.
When a celeb gets too honest online, notice how they disappear for a week. That's the silent rule kicking in.
SpaceX built an escape system for the astronauts in case the rockets fail, and NASA needs to take notes. This is incredible. So first they push a button, and this long chute falls down, then they jump in it real quick, and it's like a ride at the amusement park. It looks pretty fun, actually. It's genius.
Starting December 16th, Meta will begin reading your DMs. Every message, photo, and voice note fed into AI for profit. Let's look at this video, and then we're going to get more into it, guys. We're going to get more into it.
Starting December 16th, Meta will start reading your DMs.
What's a covert intelligence officer?
Yeah, so people don't realize that CIA actually has two types of intelligence officers. So CIA has overt, O-V-E-R-T, overt officers, and covert, C-O-V-E-R-T, covert officers. Overt officers make up about 90% of CIA. They're all the people who work for CIA. Their tax return says CIA. They go to their, parties on Friday night and they say, hey, I work for the CIA. They do disguise stuff. They do accounting. They do financial investigations. They do, you name it, analysis. But then you have covert CIA. Covert officers are actually undercover. Their IRS receipts, their tax does not say they work at CIA. None of their footprint says they work at CIA. CIA takes a great deal of effort to kind of erase them from the internet and make sure they don't have a footprint that is affiliated with CIA or Washington, D.C. or the U.S. federal government. So about 10% of all of CIA officers are covert, and that was my 10%.
When it comes to a vector for infiltration, are those equally used? I'm going to guess the 90% must be significantly more visible. They must be the ones that are easier for some nasty foreign actor to try and get into.
Yeah, you know what's interesting is there's actually a third vector that we haven't even talked about, because inside the federal government, the softest underbelly is actually in what's known as private intelligence contractors. So private intelligence contractors work for a different company altogether. They work for Raytheon or Booz Allen or CACI, but they actually work at CIA headquarters. So that vector is the most susceptible vector for foreign intelligence, because those are just commercial employees. Those are, they have a clearance, but they don't necessarily make a career at CIA. And your overt officers are very paranoid about being approached by foreign actors. Your covert officers are also highly paranoid about being approached by a foreigner. But in the middle, you've got this huge base of contractors that support everything from tech operations to covert action. And they're not paranoid about being approached, because they're just normal everyday contractors, and they're always looking for the next big contract that they can sign to.
What sort of tasks will the contractors do?
They'll do everything that your staff will do, with the exception of field collection, actual operational core collecting of intelligence in the field. If you remember Blackwater, or if you remember any of the private military contractors, oftentimes those contractors are called in to do some of the most harrowing, most dangerous work, because it's very easy for the government to spend money and hire contractors to get them operational quickly. It's a much slower process to take a staff officer, train them in a new language, get all of the administrative paperwork signed to get them kind of transitioned to a different operation. So there's a great need for the contracting base.
These were the most inbred royals in history. First up, Maria Antonia of Austria. Everyone points to Charles II of Spain as the most inbred, but really, it's his niece. A study of her DNA shows that she's even more inbred than a child of full siblings, or even that of a parent and a child. It really doesn't get any more inbred than that. Her father, Leopold I, was both uncle and first cousin to her mother. Next, Ferdinand of Austria. His parents were double first cousins, sharing all grandparents. Ferdinand showed it too. He couldn't talk right and had a lot of seizures. It is even said that he had a seizure at his wedding. People generally liked him, but when things got tough, he was forced to abdicate. And despite being inbred, he lived until he was 82. Finally, Ludwig II of Bavaria. Mental illness ran in his family, and Ludwig was a dramatic case. He ignored running the government and spent his time building castles. By the 1880s, he was reclusive, declared insane, and 3 days later, he was drowned.
I always thought self-driving taxi services were pretty sketchy, and this video just confirmed I will not be riding one of these things for at least a few years until the technology gets better. This is a Waymo. It's a company that's already out. You can see it in a lot of major cities, and it's a self-driving taxi service, so like Uber or Lyft, but it's powered by AI technology, and it just drove its passenger right through a shootout in Los Angeles. Funniest part about this video is the suspect, while he's on handcuffs on the ground, is even staring at the car like, what the heck is this guy doing? Self-driving taxis will be the future of the rideshare industry. Just take a look at Elon Musk. He's releasing the robo-taxis. They may already be released by now, but you're gonna see these in every major city eventually. I just hope that they think through all the problems, because clearly Waymo didn't, and this isn't the first suspicious video. Just take a look at this one.
Alright, no, this is why you don't do fucking driverless vehicles. Look at this.
Yeah, those driverless vehicles are definitely the future. But I think I'll wait a few years, let them work out all the bugs, all the kinks that they got going on. They might be a great solution later on, but right now, it looks like they got a lot of weird stuff going on. I'm not too cool with it.
Now, I bet you didn't know that there are only 9 non-human animal species that have passed the mirror test. Developed by psychologist Gordon Gallup Jr. in 1970 as a behavioral test for animals to see if they possess the ability of visual self-recognition. AKA, when they look in a mirror, do they understand they're seeing themselves? The way that they go about testing this is actually by marking the animal's body with a certain type of dye in a location they can't see without a mirror. If the animal looks at themselves in the mirror and then touches, examines, or directs behavior to the mark on its own body while viewing its reflection, it is considered to have passed the mirror test. Gallup first conducted this study using chimpanzees and found that unlike monkeys, they were able to recognize their own reflections. Since then, the only other animals that have passed the test are bonobos, gorillas, orangutans, dolphins, elephants, magpies, and most surprisingly, a small tropical reef fish called cleaner wrasse.
What kind of name is cleaner wrasse? Like, that's a wild name to give a fish.
Come on, son. Lately, there's some stuff that been making me want to say, come on, son.
Was black magic just used in a World Cup qualifier? So last night, Nigeria and DR Congo played, but only one could qualify. Now, Nigeria ended up losing on penalties despite their best efforts at sabotage. But the wild part is their head coach is blaming it on voodoo. Footage shows in the final moments of the penalty shootout, chaos erupting as Coach Chile was trying to confront someone on Congo's team, not once, but twice. But in a bizarre post-match interview, he was asked why he got so angry.
During all the penalty decision, a guy of Congo did some voodoo. Every time. So this is why I was a little nervous after him.
What did you see?
Yeah, something like that. You know, with the I don't know if it's a water or something like that. You know. So
now with this result, the whole of Nigeria is heartbroken right now. But considering this is the second time in a row they failed to qualify, that raises the question: is there some voodoo involved, or was the coach just a little salty?
That's why it's hard to really play against a sore loser, right? A sore loser will always come up with the reason why they lost. Oh, you were counting cards, huh? You were counting cards. I saw the way you rolled your dice. You were holding the dice for too long, man. You were cheating, huh? Boy, just take the L. Take the L and get better. That's it. Do better.
They want you to know what they're doing to you, right? What do we need humans for? What do we need so many humans for?
Do you have an answer in the book?
At present, the best guess we have is keep them happy with drugs and computer games.
Most people will be willing to give up their privacy in exchange for much better healthcare based on 24 hours monitoring of what's happening inside their bodies.
Humans are now hackable animals. The whole idea that humans have soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me, that this is my free will, that's over. The real aim of science as a project, as an establishment, is not truth, it's power. The idea of the social credit is to monetize everything, to give value to every single thing you do in life. It's a function of surveillance. It has positive potential in some regards. It could create the most totalitarian systems in history.
Right. You would think that they would know what other people are saying and they would clean up their image a little bit, but they don't seem to care. They know that we're talking about.
Is it just me, or did that guy just sound like pure evil, right? Just diabolical thoughts left and right coming out of his mouth. Just things that the average Joe doesn't really even want to hear or consider, right? I don't like any of his ideas.
This is a new eye implant that's giving people back their sight, and it could save your eyesight when you get older. The patients in this trial all had cells at the back of their eye that gradually died because of an age-related disease, causing their vision to look something like this. But doctors implanted this tiny microchip behind their retina. It's only about as thick as a human hair, and it connects to a special pair of glasses with a camera on the front that takes in images and then sends it to the implant and then to a handheld processor that turns what the camera is seeing into a digital image that then gets sent back to the implant and then to the brain, giving people back their sight. Huge if true. If you think there should be more optimistic science and tech stories, follow along.
In case the world made you forget, using a phone until it's actually broken and wrecked is normal. Driving a car, the same car, for over a decade is normal. Packing a lunch to work every single day for your 9 to 5 is normal. Reusing gift bags for the holiday season is normal. Wearing clothes, the same hoodie, for many, many years is normal. Saying no to plans you can't afford is normal.
Always here to de-influence you. Bye.
It was just before 3 a.m. Lou was sitting in her living room, quietly reading a book, while her Labrador Peanut walked around the room. Everything looked completely normal on the home security camera, until something strange happened. Lou suddenly reacts as though something warm had breathed directly into her ear. But it's what happens next that sent the clip viral. See if you can spot it. As Lou stands and moves away, a small bottle on the table beneath the TV suddenly tips over on its own.
Nah, she had a house full of demons. I don't know if you caught that, but run that back if you missed it.
You have to keep in mind, he's not a practicing astrophysicist. He's not writing scientific papers. I write a paper almost every week.
Right.
I'm in the trenches doing science. It's very different. It's just like, you have soccer players and you have commentators on the bench, and you can be a commentator, popularize science, but the difference is that as a commentator, you will never score a goal.
If I was an intelligent species and my curiosity led me to explore other intelligent species and they were far more advanced than us, I think they would find us quite fascinating. That was the argument that I got into with Neil deGrasse Tyson, where he was like, I don't think we're that interesting.
Hey, pure shots fired at Neil deGrasse Tyson. But check out what Neil deGrasse Tyson has to say about going to the moon and going to Mars. It's pretty interesting.
And what do you think is the probability of me getting to another planet in my lifetime?
Zero. Zero.
Really?
Yeah. You want to know why?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's just zero.
I thought SpaceX, going to go to Mars.
I have an unorthodox view on this, so you don't have to believe me. But my read of history tells me that we only do big, expensive things if there's a geopolitical reason for it, either an economic reason or a defense reason, not just because it's the next thing to do. And when we went to the moon, you realize in 1961, May 25th, President Kennedy, this is 6 weeks after Yuri Gagarin flew around the Earth in orbit, and we didn't have a ship that wouldn't blow up on the launch pad that could carry humans yet. He calls a joint session of Congress and says, if the events of recent weeks, couldn't even utter the man's name, the events of recent weeks, and I paraphrase, are any indication of the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere, then we need to show the world the path of freedom over the path of tyranny. It's a battle cry against communism, the godless Russians, everyone in the whole Soviet Union. We were losing a technological race. And that was the battle cry that prompted Congress to write the check. Oh, later on he says, it'll be, put a man on the moon and before return him to safely Earth. And, that's so beautiful. Let's hold hands. That's so beautiful. No one ever spent scads of money just because it was a cool thing to do. That has never happened ever. So we go to the moon. People forgetting why we went to the moon say, while we're on the moon, at this rate, we'll be on Mars by 1985. That'll be the next ambitious goal we'll take on. No. Because we didn't just go to the moon because that was the next thing to do. We went to the moon to beat the Russians. And when we got to the moon and we looked over our shoulder and the Russians weren't there, we canceled the Apollo program. We haven't been back to the moon in 53 years. We canceled it. Apollo 18 was ready to fly. It's now in captivity in Huntsville, Alabama, in a museum on its side. It's fascinating to walk the full length of it. All rocket flight ready parts. It never flew. We ended it at Apollo 17. No, we didn't go to Mars because we didn't have geopolitical reasons to do so, neither economic nor for defense reasons. Historically, people explored, did expensive things for the glory of God and royalty. Very expensive. The pyramids, the honor of royalty, okay? The church building, cathedral building, all of these activities were in the glory of power, deity, and royalty. None of that happens today. We're past that. The power of kings and gods. That doesn't happen. dislodges major resources, capital resources of a nation in the interest of a god or a king anymore. Okay? It's secular. And secular means it's money or it's war because you feel threatened. Okay. So, we're going back to the moon now.
Yeah.
Project Artemis. Did you ever think to stop and ask why? Why didn't we stay on the moon in 1972? Why didn't we go back in 1980 or 1990, 2000, 2010? Oh, all of a sudden, let's go back to the moon. Wouldn't that be cool? Do you know when Artemis began? In the late teens? Right about when China says we're going to put taikonauts on the moon.
Taikonauts?
Oh, yeah, Chinese astronaut. Taikonaut. All right? That's when we said, let's go back to the moon. What a good idea. Let's do that. Really? Because it's just a good idea? Because we're a little bit spooked by a friendly foe around the world might get the glory of that exercise. And once again, it's a godless country. Okay? Communism is godless by design, by construct. So here we are going back to the moon. All right. What motivation do we have to go to Mars? Are there oil wells there? Is there, diamond mines? We're not going to Mars. We're just not. Unless China says they want to put military bases on Mars. We're going to be in Mars in 10 months. 1 month to design, build, and fund the thing, and 9 months to get to Mars.
Now, we can't act like he doesn't make a good point, but I'm not interested in going to Mars or the moon. So I'm good on both of those. But it does make a great case as to why we haven't been back to the moon, though. Now, let me know, are you down to go to Mars or the moon? Well, you guys, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me, man. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, go and smash that like and that subscribe button, and I definitely will catch you on the next one.